Welcome back to Dark Shiny Unicorn. My name is Teresa Gerke. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be talking about unicorns and purple squirrels and the importance of networking. Networking is an essential part of your social network. Meeting other like-minded people, and especially during a global pandemic, finding your next job. Although my experience might be a little different than most, I did want to share all the different things and resources that I did in order to delve in technology and get my next job. I mentioned this because I didn't just focus on cybersecurity. I also have an interest in cloud security, and I was preparing for the CCSK, but I also like learning about blockchain technology and attended last year's ETH Denver blockchain gathering. I attended last year's ETH Denver event and had such a great time. I met guys from Germany and Russia and Slovenia, and our team took first prize for our red envelope project that was sponsored by the blockchain company Status. And so I'll put a link to our little video and our project down in the comments. But I was also hoping to maybe win another bounty this year. And so this year at the ETH Denver event, it was more about making friends and learning new technology. As far as cybersecurity, I recall one of my professors at my community college sharing with me this event called Women in Cybersecurity, or WESIS. And they were having an annual conference here in Denver. And I was super excited. And then coronavirus happened and it became a virtual conference. That didn't prevent me from networking, and it gave me the ability to learn from really, really smart, brilliant women and speakers at the conference. And if anything, it really rocketed my trajectory into cybersecurity. At the event, I was able to interview with recruiters and expand my network very quickly. I also learned about the LinkedIn group Mentor and Mentee Women in Cybersecurity that is headed by Noreen. She's wonderful and I highly recommend the group. I met incredibly helpful people. They were willing to share their knowledge and their expertise, not just with me, but it's at a global level, and I was able to also find a mentor. It's through this group that I found one of my mentors, Amy Seitz. She's brilliant and kind and helpful, and being connected to as a member to Women in Cybersecurity, the WESIS group, I was able to view job boards and apply for a cybersecurity writer position with Mobile Guru. In fact, the day that I had my interview with Mobile Guru, I had my first mentoring session with Amy, and she helped me prepare questions for the interview, and that helped guide me in the actual interview that was later that day. So I had time to research the company, time to prepare my questions, and then go into the interview. And I submitted my resume prior to the interview, and I am a strong believer in always kind of bringing your best skills to the forefront of an interview, which meant I also provided a writing sample to kind of just show her the quality of my work prior to my interview, and I got the job. So it was a 3-month unpaid internship, and I would write articles based on some topic that she gave me and research the topic. So it could be about a mobile threat or Internet of Things, IoT threat, an issue around compliance or privacy or some legislation. And so I would research the topic and then write a draft, and then she would look at it and provide feedback, and then I would submit at the end of the week. And so I learned a lot through that position, was really grateful to her for mentoring me and also sharing her knowledge and wisdom about mobile security. During this time, I also applied for jobs kind of in between webinars and various cybersecurity meetings. However, deciding the niche in cybersecurity that I wanted to be in was difficult because there are so many different areas. And so I felt like I needed to explore like penetration testing. I attended the SANS Digital Forensic and Incident Response Summit this year. I listened to different online webcasts through DevCon, General Assembly, even Skillshare. What are some other ones? Bridges and Tech, and there's a bunch, and I will list them in the blog itself. Even my mentor, Amy Seitz, wanted to create this group called Care Partnerships, and that group is about helping people who are newly graduated or transitioning into or within cybersecurity, and we're currently developing a website with different resources and mentoring opportunities, and we'll probably list job opportunities as well. So I'm part of that group, and that in turn created a smaller subgroup of some of us who decided we wanted to go through this free resource through Mose Cybersecurity Institute. It's a free curriculum they were offering, and so I have a weekly accountability group. It's all women. We're supportive, it's thought-provoking, it's really encouraging, and again, I get to be surrounded with really smart, brilliant women, and that's a great feeling to have. And actually, I posted this on LinkedIn a little while ago, but I'm really surprised at just how supportive everyone has been through this journey in cybersecurity, lifting people up, helping people. I've offered mock interviews, I've helped people with their resumes, and so there's this really nice, genuine give and take, and I really appreciate it. So I learned many things during my internship with Mobile Guru. It's cutting edge, it's interesting, and as I would research various threats to mobile security, I found myself asking, why do threat actors do what they do? What is their motivation? What is driving them? Why create a malicious app that steals credentials? Why create a remote access Trojan through a phishing email that pertains to COVID-19? I just think that's mean, but that's me. So the questions I asked myself had to do with people, human behavior, and the why. I leaned on my anthropology education and experience to try to understand the why, but I also was trying to look for a role that would combine the anthropology and the cybersecurity, and that's where I was getting a little hung up. A job search can be daunting. It's like a full-time job in and of itself, and so I'm going to post links in the blog for remote job sites because nobody wants to get COVID-19, and I hope that that helps with your job search. However, by chance, I got on a call with HR managers and recruiters specifically in the field of cybersecurity, and they discussed how to craft better job descriptions. They know they're looking for unicorns and what they call purple squirrels. These are candidates who tick every box. They have all the qualifications required and desired, and to be honest, that's not reasonable, that's not fair, and that doesn't exist. They're unicorns and purple squirrels for a reason. And so some of the takeaways from that particular conversation were, first, look for job candidates who come close. Second, don't just depend on the application tracking system to find a great candidate. Look for more unique traits and skills that are also transferable into that role. And third, if you're applying for a job and you're interested in it and you know that you have some skills, don't be overwhelmed by all the things listed in the job description. It's over the top, often poorly written, because the person writing it may not really understand the job itself. So don't be afraid to apply. Don't wait, apply. Especially if you're a woman, especially if you're a woman of color, especially if you're a person of color. In cybersecurity, there is not enough of us. And so we want to have diversity and inclusion, especially in this tech field, and the need is great. We need you to apply, and I would encourage you to apply. I'll also add just this one thing because I forgot to mention it before. The idea is to bring someone into the role and help them grow in their position. That might mean training or attending conferences, or and especially now, virtual conferences. So find a candidate who is willing to learn and wants that continuous education within their role, and then you'll find that you've created a great candidate and a great person for that particular role. So once you get to that place where you're having a job interview, there are a number of questions you can ask and a number of things that you can do in order to prepare yourself for it. The first thing I would recommend is researching who you're talking to. Are they on LinkedIn? Who are they connected to? Do you have any mutual connections? Also, really evaluating and looking at the company website. What is the tone and the language that's being used on their website? Is it friendly? Is it more direct? That would be important to know. And what about the role? Do you know someone who has been in the role before, or do you know someone outside of your network who has similar experience in a role to the one you're interviewing for? And then I love to ask this question: what is the culture of the company? And that could be, how do people interact? What is the communication style? Who's going to oversee my work? And what are some metrics of performance and evaluation? Those are always really good questions to ask, because at the end of the day, you are building a community and you want to make sure that you are right for that community. And so I'd always recommend asking about the culture of the company. Another aspect of once you're in the job is understanding kind of the hierarchy and the communication styles of people, what people like and what people don't like, as well as, standard protocols of communication and how you will build your team or develop leaders, or even your own self-development is really important within the position that you've just come into. Another thing that I would add is, when you're talking about your pay and you're doing your salary negotiation, know your worth. Know what you bring to the table in terms of your skill set, your knowledge, your education, your experience. Do your research. It's so important that you know kind of where you sit in terms of salary range, and you can use salary.com or Glassdoor. I often use the federal site Bureau of Labor and Statistics to kind of gauge where I am in the role and what the pay is looking like, and that's really a very helpful tool. So I did my own job research and discovered job descriptions for threat intelligence analysts, and there it was, glaring at me. Finally, my love for anthropology and passion for cybersecurity were united. Every time I looked at a job description, I'm like, oh, this is about behavior, but it's also tech, and it's also cybersecurity and awareness and profiling. And so with my education and my background, my experience, and kind of just all the things that I enjoy naturally, I felt like this was a good spot. So I'm a big believer in actualization, and if you put it out there, it will happen. So I changed my job description on LinkedIn to Threat Intelligence Analyst, and good things started to happen for me. You lean in on what you know and what you're passionate about. And sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes things just come to you. Other times you have to really hunt and look and apply and apply and apply. But the takeaway is, you find your passion, research your passion, try to find the right people who are doing what you want to do, and network with those people. You can do an informative interview where you just take maybe 15-20 minutes of their time and say, tell me more about what you do, what you like, how did you get into this role. They are more than happy to share with you their learning path, what they did to find this career path, and share their knowledge with you. So don't be afraid to reach out to people. Reach out to me if you have questions, because I'm always here to, share my experience, my knowledge. If you have an interest in anthropology and human behavior, I love to talk about it, as you can see. That's why I'm doing a vlog and writing a blog. And so that's one of the things I would encourage you to also do. So here's my final advice. Find your passion. Research your passion. Apply for the job no matter how qualified you think you are or how qualified you think you aren't, because those job descriptions are not always accurate and they are over the top. They're asking for a lot, but 50%, 60%, apply. And reach out to your network. Maybe there's someone who works at that company who can get you an in, and just give your heart and soul the opportunity it deserves to find the thing you're good at and to find the thing that will make you happy long-term in a career. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoy this vlog. If you haven't listened to the other ones, you can go to my YouTube channel and check those ones out too. And come back next week. I'm going to be talking about the cybersecurity sisterhood.